vehicle for Rachel's business.
Okay.
So she's the smart one.
Yeah. So it's a 15 passenger van, basically.
Mm-hmm.
But we,
But go ahead.
yeah, we don't know anything about them. I mean, we've not done that before. We thought maybe you had some more thoughts and knowledge about that size vans and what's good and bad, indifferent.
Sure. Yeah, we can do that market research for you. So many of our folks who are in the market to buy a van or a luxury vehicle or a day-to-day commuter, they are not sure whether they want to get a SUV or a sedan or a hatchback or a coupe. So we do a detailed market research, understand your requirement and preferences, and create a detailed documentation with all different comparison along with the photos and the videos of the shortlisted options so that you can have
Sure.
a digital review to begin with, and then based on your availability we can even set up some test drive options for you at a nearby dealership to begin the process so that you can have a look and feel. The dealerships knows that you are not going to purchase the vehicle, you are just going to go and check out the options, understand the features, take it for a spin, and then you will be back to your own activity and work. And then from there we take care of the next steps such as detailed inventory listing, looking at all different options in the market, negotiating the pricing with multiple dealerships, and then ensuring that you are getting the lowest negotiated price for the van of your choice.
Good.
Yeah, this is
Yeah.
I just mentioned it on a very high level 30,000
Sure.
overview, but there is a lot of detailed steps which we can go through this over the call as per your
Yeah.
needs and concerns. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so if you can allow, I'll just share our screen and just share a real quick reference as to how it looks like. So, and some of the behind the scenes activities, what we have done for our clients in the past. All right. So let me know once you are able to see the screen.
I can.
Yeah,
Yes.
I can.
Yes. So what we do is, first of all, this is one of our client out of California, very, very recent one. He was also
Right.
looking for a Ford Transit cargo van for his business. And we understand the make and the model. You can have multiple makes or model, or you can say it's
Sure.
open-ended, and we can list down all different options from the market. So you can be as specific as you want, or you can be as open as you want, as per your preference. And then we understand if you are looking for a new one or a pre-owned one. Here, he was looking for a pre-owned one with 100,000 miles or less. Any packages, any wheelbase, any particular seating capacity, what does the split look like? You can share those details with us. Are you looking for forward wheel drive, all wheel drive, etc.? Any color preferences you have, any must haves, that is okay. Rachel, you can say, Neil, I need this feature in my van no matter what. So we can definitely have that as one of our elimination or a preferential factor to ensure that we are incorporating that in our market research. Along with that, you can say, hey, must not have. So certain clients will say, I do not want sunroof or moonroof. Whereas certain people will say, I need a panoramic roof, right? So again, understanding your preferences to a greater detail, your zip code, search radius. So we look at 50 miles, then we increase the search radius to 100 miles to ensure that we have all different options listed down systematically, which I'll show you in a second, so that we have a upper hand and a leverage when we negotiate the car pricing with dealerships. And then any particular budget you have in mind, you can share that to us. And what is the mode of purchase, whether you are going to pay in cash. I mean, of course, this is a business transaction. So whether you are going to take a line of credit from your business, whether we are going to get your business pre-approved from the bank, if you have any pre-approvals already in place. So based upon how you are planning to purchase it, we'll ensure that we do it in that particular manner. And then again, monthly budget to take care of it. Now, once we have understood this in a little bit detail, What we do is we go for listings. So you can see that here we have done a lot of listings. This was only done like last month. So we put down the dates here as well. What are the stock numbers? Whether those vehicles are pre-owned or a new one. Again, the Ford Cargo Transit one, the trim level again matches. Which are the dealerships from which we are obtaining this information? And this was a deal breaker for this particular client. So we marked those particular features in orange to ensure that that feature is there even before we share this document with you, to get your feedback, to get your comments. And keep in mind, this is a very interactive and iterative process because we are a completely opposite of a dealership. The dealership will try to sell you what they have within their database,
Right.
whereas we are inventory free consulting company. So we do not own any vehicle. We are not affiliated with any dealership. We do not make any incentives or commissions behind the back, so that we pass on all the savings to you. So just like how a lawyer would represent you, or how a real estate broker would represent you as a part of the transaction or as a part of the legal process, that is the same approach what we have for people who are looking to get a cost saving based approach along with hassle free and a stress free buying transaction from a dealership where we are getting the lowest price in writing. We do not believe on dealership words that, okay, you walk into a dealership and we'll offer you this price, because we know it's going to change. They're going to throw a lot of, like we call it, spins, and they
Yeah.
will like float it up, increase it up, bump it up the price what they have talked to you over the phone versus what they will show you once you are at the dealership. They'll make you wait for 2 3 hours unnecessarily, so that you get tired, you get frustrated. So over the last 5 years of doing this 24/7, 365, Monday through Sunday, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m., and even on the weekends and long weekends as well, during holidays, during COVID, we have understood what are the tactics, what are the sales strategy which are being used by these dealerships, and we don't get play around, or we don't get fool around by those. So we act as a mediator between your buying process and the dealership. The final payment is directly made to the dealership, but we do a due diligence to ensure that it is done in a very systematic and an approachable manner, so that you don't have to haggle or hassle or even waste time with the dealerships. We'll also, coming back to the spreadsheet, we'll also put down the distance as to how far this dealership is, so we can have a full visibility and clarity as to what it looks like. What is the exterior color, interior colors, what is the online price, how many miles it has been driven if it is a pre-owned one, and what are the Carfax links? We want to ensure that if it is a pre-owned vehicle, it is not into accidents, it has a clean title, it has a full service history. So all those checks and parameters are in place. I have an entire concierge team who goes by those systematic processes and the protocols what we have designed in-house after serving more than 750 plus people and their families over the last 4 years. So we know what are the ways through which we can overcome any of the bottlenecks which can arise after the purchase. So we take care of it before the purchase to ensure that we can save your hard-earned money and it doesn't get into any of the challenges afterwards. So we look at the accident status. If some cars are getting sold, we even mark it in red. So we are not afraid that if one or two cars are getting sold by the time we are doing this research, because guess what? New inventory is always going to come in the market, but we don't delete it because it helps us with the market research. It helps us with the market pricing, analytics, and also understanding the total inventory availability in that geographic region. We also do a detailed inspections. So let me show you another client of ours where we also did the van. So in this particular client, you can see that he was not sure what he wants, right? So we did GMC, we did Nissan, we did Chevy, Ram, again Chevy, Ford, Transit Cargo. So like that, Ram Pro Master. So we can provide you a detailed comparison between different makes and models to ensure that you can have a full clarity and visibility about what it looks like We put down again the distance, the exterior color, the interior color, what is the online price looks like. And the biggest important thing after doing this research is to get the OTD, which is called out the door price. That includes not only the online price, but the applicable taxes and fees, all inclusive as a part of the purchase, which will be there in the contract for us to review. So that is the most important document for us to review in a systematic manner to ensure that the dealership has not played any games, they have not changed the pricing, they have not changed the vehicle what we have shortlisted, and making sure that it's a very transparent and clear deal. I'll take a minute, I'll take a pause, open it up for you to ask any questions or any suggestions you have.
I don't have any.
No, I understand the process.
Sure. So just to add on the top of it, these are some of the client reviews which are posted on our website. You can, again, I'll share the link after our call as well. So they are on Google, they have come through us via email, on LinkedIn, on text, on social media. So we have done multiple vehicles starting from $10,000 all the way to $2 million. We have done some of the latest and the very limited models like 2026 Lambos or 2026 Mercedes G63, all the way to the vintage vehicles such as like 1969, 1975 collectible vehicles as well. We serve all the way from West Coast, which is Alaska, all the way to British Columbia, across US as well as Canada. So considering wherever, however you want the vehicle to be purchased and delivered, we take care of that. So this is all the recommendations, suggestions, feedback what we have received, and we have been very grateful to keep providing these services amidst of like global times, such as like COVID scenario, certain situations like current situations like increase in tariff, how to mitigate those, etc., and so on and so forth. So we stay up to date as per the market trends and ensure that there is clear visibility as to how to make a proper car buying decision.
Good.
So Rachel, let me ask you, are you looking for a new vehicle or a used one?
I don't know that we have a set criteria. I think
Hmm.
it needs to be reliable to transport 15 kid. I mean, it's for a childcare center, so it's for
Yes, yes.
kids.
I did research on your business yesterday, and what you're doing is very important to the community and in the times in which we live in. So I appreciate that, and I also noticed that there are two different locations. So we need that
Yes.
safety during the transport and ensure that there is your business credibility on the line. So we cannot risk
Mm,
by just looking at the cheapest option in the market, and then it can create some catastrophic situation. Touch wood, I don't want that, but we have to keep that diligence in consideration.
sure.
Yeah. So in order to initiate the process, this is a client requirement form. Essentially, it helps us, we'll go through it in few minutes, but it helps us to understand your preferences, and keep in mind it can evolve or it can change completely as we do this process. Once this is filled out, then this goes to our client management team. They initiate the process. You will receive a client handbook just as a some to-dos and some key facts to keep in mind. And post that, we communicate with all of our folks who have availed our services on a daily basis. So you'll receive an update once every 24 hours to ensure that if there is new listings what we have found, or if some listings where we have received the pricing, or if there is any update from the market, anything which goes as a part of this process is shared with you. And as the business owner, I'm marked in all the emails to ensure that I can also keep in track that we are doing this process as per your timeline and as per your need, to ensure that we can come to the finish line as appropriate as possible. And so that is where we request your timeline. So the fastest deal what we
Okay.
have done is in 52 hours, which is literally 2 working days. And the longest deal what we have done is 8 months, because the client preferences evolved. They went on a vacation, they relocated to another city. So we are very flexible, we are very accommodating because I understand you being a business owner. Sometimes you can get occupied with your day-to-day activities. So we can wait a day or two for you to also revert back to us. So there'll never be a timeline pressure from our side. Unlike how the salespeople at the dealership will call you and say that that this deal is only limited for today, there is nothing like that. We know that those are all the marketing tactics that they deploy just to create that fear factor, so that you just walk in and sign and you don't review the details. And always we say it in US, right? The devil is in the details.
Yeah.
So that is where we focus on. Our team will review the entire contract, that 7 to 10 page contract with all the finer details, to ensure that they have not changed any monthly pricing or the total out the door price or the duration of the financing or the APR as well. Because every little detail adds up significantly, and we want to ensure that your hard-earned money of your business goes in purchasing the right vehicle with proper safety in place, and also ensure that we get the most value for our money. Yeah, so you can give us the year range if you're looking for a pre-owned one. If you're looking for a new one, we will just take 2025. The make, the models, the trim level, the packages, drivetrain, exterior color, interior color, zip code, and the search radius, your budget, whether you're looking to cash or finance or lease, because with corporate, you have the ability to also lease the van for 36 or 39 months. And then again, after 3 years, we can circle back and see whether you are looking to go move from lease to buy, which is L to B option, or you are just going to give back the van and we go for a new one, which can be 2028 or 2029, depending upon during that season of the year. And then this information is submitted to our team. So it creates a spreadsheet like this. So this is another one of our client where she was also looking for, this is not a van feature, but this is for
Right.
Toyota RAV4. But in her pre-owned option, she had many features. So if you go to a dealership and tell all these features, they will run away. They'll say, okay, we don't have it. Just look around and see what you like and take it and just pay the money. But we don't take no for an answer. We'll go an extra
Right.
mile to ensure that we exactly find what you are looking for. And all these features were translated into dedicated columns, which you can see, to ensure that those features are enlisted, incorporated, and found after calling each and individual dealership. Still, the process of connecting with the dealership is still monotonous. It is not refined in this digital age that I can just text and I can get all the information of the vehicle. So, our team of associate concierge, some of them are on the call right now, will literally call each and every dealership and ensure that all the features what you're looking for is getting mapped and it is actually there. The vehicle is actually there, because we again, if the dealership salesperson say, yeah, you walk in, we have the vehicle, we again ask them, send us a picture, send us a photo of the vehicle at the dealership lot. So we literally ask them to move around, take the picture with date and timestamp, and validate even before we share that information with you. So if in case if you
Yeah.
plan to go for a test drive, or if in case if you're planning to purchase that final vehicle, then our efforts are not getting wasted. So like that, we have done a lot of different things. Just one more options I can say. This is one of our other client who was not sure which particular luxury car he wanted to purchase. So we provided him the detailed list of all different options based upon his budget and based upon his preference. And after that, he shortlisted Porsche, and that is where we did the detailed listing. If you look at a used vehicle, we also do a miles versus price comparison so that we can see where we are getting the most value for our buck. Sometimes we feel that the lowest price in the market is the best bet to go, but it might not be true where we look at cost versus price, sorry, cost versus miles. And so that way, this mathematical form of equation helps us to take a very rational and a very logical decision rather than getting or falling into prey of any dealership tactics. So personally, I'm very passionate about what we do. We love to solve our problems. We have multiple documentation, email threads, reviews to talk about this. But again, I would like to take a pause because I got a feedback that I speak a lot.
Mhm.
So I also want to hear from you and understand where you are, what is the guidance you are looking for or support you are looking for in this process.
Um, I don't know. I think it's more just I haven't ever had to buy a passenger van. Our original location was just preschool, so we
Mm-hmm.
didn't need it. But
Mm-hmm.
our second location has school age, and we need something to be able to do field trips in the summer and things, as well as for commute to school, drop-offs and pickups for school. So I don't think I know exactly what my questions are in that sense.
That's okay.
Um, so, and this is my first time working with like a buyer per se. I know my dad's worked with them, so
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I would first of all, I don't think we want in the $2 million range. So,
No, no,
no.
um,
go.
so I like the you know I like the concept of evaluating based on uh, mileage versus value kind of thing.
Mm,
I don't think we mind a pre-owned. We just don't know how to compare those.
mm.
And I don't think we really have a brand preference either, do we, Rach? Um,
No, there's a couple features that I would like to look for, but I don't know if they're things you put in afterwards or if they come that way.
Mhm.
Um,
yeah.
because I mean things like camera in the van or things like that. So, but I also would look at, if it's cheaper to put in afterwards or if it's cheaper to come with it.
Yeah. So you can
Well,
share.
I would say also I
Yeah,
have bottom where they were shipped into us versus locally. I don't think we care if the value offset of the cost of shipping them is better, then we're fine with that too.
correct. So thank you for bringing the shipping option into consideration. So there were 3 points. Let me share step by step. So number one, Rachel, you mentioned about the factory installed options. That is certain features like backup camera or heated seats or something along those lines comes by default. So we can list down all the features what you are expecting and of course share more which can be there. And then we can pick and choose the ones which are critical and important for our business need. And then we can again dissect that. Should we take this with the dealership or should we get it installed afterwards? So for example,
Well, Rachel,
yeah, please go
Rachel,
ahead.
I think Rachel, you're talking about interior cameras to video the passengers, correct?
Yeah, as well as the backup. I think backup's a critical one for childcare as well.
Right.
Yes.
So,
Anyway, okay.
Yeah, so thank you. So, for example, a backup camera cannot be installed afterwards because it will impact the electronic system of the van.
hmm
But for example, a CCTV like camera, which is used in vehicle in motion, where you can record all the 15 children who are sitting in the back side of the van,
hmm
that can be fitted later on, right? Because that's an add-on. It doesn't have to come
Okay.
as a factory installed
Yeah.
option. So once we know, we can again put our
Yeah.
recommendation and suggestion. So I wanted to say, for example, floor mats or seat covers. We don't need to buy them
Right.
from dealership at a premium
Right.
price. But for example, if
Right.
you're looking for Apple or Android autoplay, right, or a backup camera, or heated seats, for example, or a partition between a driver seat and the children where they are sitting. So if that comes as a original parts, that is much better for the life cycle of the vehicle. And also we don't want to interfere with the core components of the vehicle. So anything which can be retrofitted on the top of it, which is not impacting the main assembly line of the vehicle, we can look at after the market purchase or look at purchasing those parts in the market. But something which is impacting the vehicle, we prefer that it comes as a factory or a dealer installed options.
Right.
Okay. Coming to your point, Ed, in terms of price versus miles, as well as for the shipping aspect. Now, here is one thing which we also review. Sometimes, typically, what we have in mind is let's look at about 3 to 4 dealerships within 20 to 50 mile radius. And then whatever options they have, we negotiate and we purchase, and we feel the customer feels that they have got a great deal. But most of the times we have found that there are certain dealership who has the exact same specific options, but they are about 70, 80, 90 mile of the radius. And if there is $2,000 price decrease after negotiations and everything, it is much better to pick those vehicles up, because it will be a one-time effort, but it will be a saving for the business and for us. The second options what we have also evaluated is that if you are either looking for a pre-owned one or a new one, sometimes the price is even less if you look at 300 miles to 500 mile radius. That is
Right.
where we can work with different shipping companies and get the vehicle delivered at your doorstep, either at your business address or at your personal address as well. And what we factor is what is the cost to own this plus dollar per mile to ship it.
Yeah.
So
Right.
if we are getting a vehicle at 500 miles away, which is $30,000, plus to ship it is $500, our total OTD out the door price, including taxes and fees, is 30,500. However, if a dealership which is only 2 miles away or 20 miles away is selling it for $34,000, then it does not make sense for us to pay that additional $3,500 just for that convenience, because we can use that additional amount as a down payment or towards the use of any other business or personal expenses. So we also do this entire value
Yeah.
for money comparison, and I can show you certain documents and which we have done it for our clients. That is one thing. Now, Ed, there is the biggest question, because I also have a fear factor that if the used car or the used van in your case is 500 or 1000 miles away, how to ensure that it is used appropriately by the previous owners. And we cannot simply rely on a report, which is the auto check report or the Carfax report, because those are just the documentation. So in this case, hi guys, can you hear me?
I
You
can
kind of
now.
broke up there.
Oh, sure. No,
Yeah.
Yeah, you kind of froze.
yes. Let me know what was the last point you heard, and I can continue from there.
Well, I think again, I've done this multiple
Yes.
times in the
Yeah.
past, and we because we're in Albuquerque, your next closest market is going to be Phoenix or
Utah,
Colorado,
Colorado. Yes. Yes. Yes.
and so
Yeah.
typically, although I bought one out of California and one out of the Midwest, so
Hmm.
uh, I get all that, and we don't really care. So we
Sure.
found because Albuquerque is a relatively small market, that
Mm-hmm.
depending on what we're getting, a lot of times we got a better deal out of state.
Out of state,
So
yes. And that is where we look at the Phoenix as a major valley. That is
right,
all dealerships there. Las Vegas, major used car dealerships. Colorado, many dealerships, and we can even stretch
yeah.
up to LA if required. Correct. So that is the way we
We
can.
tend to we bought quite a few of them through the Denver market because frankly that's where we're from and we have family there, but we don't care.
Okay, sure, sure. So, just last point I would like to add here for the used car and the used van, and you have done this previously. So, we have a three things as a part of our checklist process. One is a detailed Carfax as well as auto check report. The second one is a
Right.
dealership inspection report. It is
Yep.
mandatory to have the dealership inspection report for them to sell the vehicle in the market. But a lot of time
Right.
they will not share that document with you because they might be hiding certain issues or the challenges with the
Right.
vehicle. And the third one is we get a unbiased feedback from a large mechanic or a auto repair shop. So
Yeah.
we might have to incur a cost of $100 or
Right.
$150. We don't have to do it for all the vans, just the final van,
Right.
where we have negotiated the price, everything is good to go. And that's the last step before we are going to make the payment or we are going to sign the paperwork. When
Right.
he or she goes to the dealership, that means that company goes to the dealership, they will be able to give us a very factual overview of the vehicle and the current condition of that. And in
Yeah.
that, if there is any engine or transmission issues, we move away from that deal, no matter even if they discount another $5,000 or $10,000. But if it
Right.
is minor wear and tear, which is more like a cosmetic damage or some bumper edge etc., or something, or a ding, or a stone touch, anything like that, then we have two options here. Number one is we ask the dealership to lower the price because it will cost us some amount to fix those. Or second,
Right.
we get an opportunity for the dealership to get those things fixed even before we purchase.
Right.
Yeah,
Good.
cool. Yeah, and yeah, this is all what we have. Let me just share my screen one more time here. And let me just quickly find this, which is Mads. And just wanted to show you because we have certain other businesses where we are continuously procuring the vehicles for them. And some of them also includes like van, cargo vans, etc. And
Right.
this was the recent, I would say, preference which was shared by one of our clients. Just a minute here. Let me share this with you here.
And just, I mean, I've obviously spent time on your website and reading your reviews as well. So,
Oh, okay. I'm glad. This is what they mentioned that see, they wanted a transparent price, like I would say, bifurcation between the passenger seats as well as
yeah.
the seats in the back. So instead of having a
Right.
full metal uh, black and white partition or a very hardcore partition, they wanted something with vents and the air to circulate, and also for them to have visibility what is going on in the back. So we created this. This is also a sealed option if you would like that. And based upon that, we were able to provide. And then they said, no, we need the completely sealed, no access partition. So the next car, what we got for them, and this is a completely email thread, which you will also expect. We put it in writing that we want 46,500, and you can see the initial, the current, the total savings, what we are delivering it to you. And this is a very, very recent May 20th, 2025. So it's literally like 2 or 3 days before. And our team member just responded that they will change it to a completely sealed partition. So we take the ownership to ensure that
Yep.
your preference is getting updated in the van of your choice even before we do the paperwork, and so on and so forth. And then we completed the deal. We again negotiated at 46,500 and they agreed on it. And then we create a separate thread between the dealership, the business, and us. So that way it's a more on the procurement transaction rather than the negotiation transaction. So like that, we have multiple email threads, which you will also experience as a part of the engagement process. Now, just coming to the last thing, which is where the rubber meets the road. As I mentioned, that we are a completely unbiased, as well as we have no affiliation with any dealerships, and we negotiate every deal with complete honesty and integrity. There is a concierge fee. We have kept it a fixed fee to ensure that as a business, you can take care of that and you have full visibility of what that looks like. So it's bifurcated into two parts. One is a curation part where we do the market research, and then one is the negotiation part, which includes price negotiation, finance lease negotiation, as well as deal closure. So it's 699, but we are running an offer of $200 as a discount. So that means it's $499 as we begin the engagement. And once you get the van, you are coming to us for the very first time, and you have been in touch with Shivani, Akansha previously, my team members. We are not going to request this fee until you get the van, until everything is sorted and you have it in your premise and you are happy with our services. And we would request a 5-star review even before we request the second part of the invoice payment. So your total, I would say the fees, engagement fee is $998. That is $1,000 all inclusive. $500 as we kick off the engagement, and $500 after everything is done and dusted. That way, we are also on our toes, we are also responsible, we are also accountable, and we ensure that everything is done in a seamless and hassle free manner, and you are happy with our services. Yeah, so I'll again take a pause, open it up to both of you.
Rachel, is that what you expected?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think you've done it more than I have, but yeah.
Right. So Yeah, I think that's exactly what we want to do. So,
Mhm.
Okay. So we can begin the process. Rachel, I know it's morning hours. Do you have 5 more minutes? Can we list down some of the requirement from what I showed to you so that you
Yeah,
don't have to fill it out later on? We can save the time while all of us are on the call.
sure,
Sure. Okay.
sure.
Let me just come to that. Yeah. So I have your email on file. We'll look at both the pre-owned ones. Are you also considering a new one, Ed or Rachel?
I think we're just looking for what's going to be our best deal at this
Okay.
point.
so yeah, yeah,
Right, Dad?
Yeah.
yep. I'd
Yeah,
say either.
Yeah, so
either.
we'll give you both the options and we can compare the price, we can compare how the market is, and then we can take a call. Then we will also include some of the certified options if we can find. What is the timeline roughly, and so that we can work accordingly?
Um, Ideally within 2 weeks, but a
Okay,
month would
sure.
be probably okay.
Okay, let's aim for 2 weeks. If after the review, if we need to take some more time to do a detailed deep dive, we have a little bit of a bandwidth to take care of it. Any
Okay.
particular year range if we are looking for a pre-owned one? So something like, hey guys, I want something 2020 or newer or 2022 or newer, preferably.
It doesn't
I think
matter
that's
to me if it's
on
reliable.
the value.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
So let me just put for our initial market research, I'll put 2018 on newer. That's like 7 years. After 7 years,
right.
the vehicle really depreciates and we might not get the reliability what we are looking for. Okay. Any particular mix or you are open to all different options for now? All options. So we'll start
I'm
with
open.
options from the market. We'll share those with you and then we can take a call from there. Trim level will be also all options. Let me put here 70,000 miles or less because if it goes beyond that, again, there is a lot of, I would say, queries or some
Yeah,
questions which comes into our mind that how it would have been driven previously. We'll review afterwards. Here also I'll put either all-wheel drive or front-wheel drive, which are better compared to rear-wheel drive. Any color options?
I don't think it matters.
Okay, open to all. Yeah. So as you are having kids, I would prefer if we go with dark interiors so that it looks, I mean, if we go for like very white or beige interiors, it would get dirty very quickly. So if that's okay,
Sure.
if we can choose dark interiors.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Any particular must-have? So you briefly mentioned about backup camera. So I'll mention that. Anything else? I mean, of course, you can add down the road, but something on the top of your mind.
Um, no, I don't think I know off the top of my mind. I'd like to know what options are available, I think,
Sure.
and compare to what will help with our insurance costs.
Yeah,
and it really relates to capacity for number of seats. So,
sure.
Yeah, I think the 15 passenger without needing a CDL is what I'm looking for. The most seats without a CDL.
Okay, sure. So let me take a note of that. Hmm. Noted. Any must not haves that, okay, I don't need this, whatever happens, or nothing like that. Okay, open to it. Yeah. Where would we will be registering this van in terms of the payment? I can just give you this link to, and you can take your time throughout the day, sometime, anytime you feel comfortable. Let me just go for this. And here, what I would say is that you have to just fill your name, email, and put the promo code as DEAL 200. I'll also give it to you on the email as well. Okay, so automatically $200 off will be applied and it will be
Okay.
499. And then you can pay through PayPal or you can use your debit or credit card. It's very flexible. And then you will receive some of the automated emails such as payment acknowledgement, invoice to the fees, which you can also use it as a business write-off or a tax write-off because you are availing official service. We are also a registered entity in US as well as in Canada. So if you need EIN number or anything along those lines, happy to share that with you, whatever is required for the tax purposes. All right. So
Okay.
let me share this on the chat, and also don't worry, I'll also send this over email as well to make it easier for you.
Okay.
And Rachel, I'm assuming if you do it through the nonprofit, we don't have to pay the sales tax, or it might be different for a vehicle. I don't know.
I don't know. I haven't done that yet, so.
So
Yeah.
that's a good question, Ed. Let me just give you. We have a document. Let me just find it. Uh,
I think the nonprofit's been around a lot longer too, so it might be a better credit per se.
okay. So is it 501(c)(3)?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So you will have at least 2 to 3% less taxes as a part of the purchase process.
Great.
That is
Okay.
a federal grant which you kind of receive to offset that cost.
Okay.
Yeah. Good point, Ed. Thank you. Okay. So that's it from my end. Any queries, any points you have for us or for the team on the call?
No?
And I appreciate it, Neil.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yes, I do too.
Welcome aboard, and we look forward to serving you.
All right. Thanks
Okay.
so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.